In the WRC, when something like this happens, it affects everybody.
You go into kind of autopilot. Some people, you know, really put off by gory scenes. You know, there's something for everyone to do. You can slow cars down. You can try and help. There's lots of things that you can do in these situations. And as I say, I think one of the biggest things is a friendly face for the guys who are shocked or, you know, being in a big crash. It's just such a good thing.
You know, when you are hurt and you have somebody speaking the same language as you, it's just all you feel. I mean, I think you feel a bit more safe in that case. So I think, yeah, Daniel was happy to have somebody he knows with him in the helicopter flying to the hospital.
An unbelievable accident, and one that both Daniel and Francois were lucky to escape from. Something that Daniel is all too aware of.
I was still alive. It was incredible for me. And okay, I'm still here to speak about, but the shock was absolutely incredible. I will always remember this last image of the trees in front of the windscreen at 180 kilometers per hour. So I have to say thank you to Bernard Lindauer who built this, to the engineer who built this Mitsubishi, because the car was incredibly strong.
And so to number 5. Florian Nigel was awarded his 2008 Junior World Rally Championship drive after winning the previous year's Suzuki Rally Cup. The German was under instruction to finish his first few events as he built up experience, but after a cautious start in Sardinia, he increased the pace, possibly a bit too much. It's understood that when you're a young driver that accidents do happen, but getting the mileage under your belt is also vital.
They also need to learn different events, different conditions, and when you compete in one country, then, you know, whether it's the Forest of Wales or Scotland or England or wherever it is, they're all pretty much the same. But, you know, these events are really where you come and learn to drive on different surfaces. And mistakes happen, you know, it's young drivers you're dealing with, so they have to learn where the limits are, and to learn where the limit is, you sometimes need to go over it.
If they are fast, they're going to make mistakes. And I mean, how else are they going to learn? You can't drive around at sort of, you know, 80% and then hope one day to be world champion. It's like you have to be there, like, you know, and you're going to make mistakes, and that's, you know, that's what happens.
Nigel's manager, though, was far from pleased. There had been a plan, and the German hadn't stuck to it.
The target was for Florian Nigel that he should save the car and not over-push the car. And the target was to go in the points. I think he changed his mind, and then he was going a little bit too fast.
Being a former driver himself, Nicky Schell understands the pressures, but also the necessity to stay on the road.
And I try to make not so much pressure on them, or let them feel that even a second, a third or a fifth place is very, very good. Better than to retire after 2 stages. So I think I have some feeling, but yeah, with Florian, he was thinking what is the best, and yeah, so it was not so easy.
A tough lesson for the young German driver, who made sure he finished every rally he did after that. And it's another junior WRC crash next up at number 4 in our countdown.
Every time you are trying to push like hell, but sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's not. I don't know where is the line, but the most important is to feel confident and know that this pushing is okay for you and for the car.
Unfortunately, Martin Prokop was to find out the hard way in Portugal 2007 just where that line was. Embroiled in a tough battle for the lead with Irmo Ava on day 1, this crash would see his season off to the worst possible start.
The problem was that we were too fast in the cut with this soft damper, so the car jump out very fast.
It was a hard crash for Petra Prokop too, who, as well as being Martin's sister, also has the daunting task of being his team manager.
Being a manager and sister at one moment is quite difficult. It's first you always think like a sister, because to lose a brother for sure, it's not. It's a terrible limitation And so first you always think like sister, and then when this gets over, then you start to think as a manager and organize things and work on it.
It was very fast. In the TV it's not so fast, and in the real it was in very high speed, and we were rolling I don't know how many times, but yeah, it was quite okay for us. We lost a very good race, but we were happy that we had no injuries, and yeah, but it was quite hard crash for me.
I don't know if he actually learned from that. They're just crazy. They all time push maximum, and I think yeah, it takes time till they forget it. I mean, maybe one rally it's still in them, but then they forget and they just go blind again.
It's back to the big boys for our top three and some big crashes. At number 3 we go to a place not for the faint-hearted, Rally Deutschland. In the past this event has thrown up all sorts of crashes, from the comedic to the frightening. But the place that everybody remembers the most is the Baumholder military range, a place where they test tanks.
Germany is always a very tricky in the military area, especially when it's wet.
The so-called Hinkelsteins, the tank traps, the big concrete blocks put into the road. I think they go about 3 meters down and 1 meter up. They just don't move if a tank hits them. So when a rally car hits them, it's just a mess.
It's always very dirty, and we have had massive accidents also there because of these stones that are beside the road, which are waiting when you go off.
Some concrete on the side of the road, which can be dangerous when you hit it. I think at the start it's for the tank, and but we have no tank. We have some rally cars, so for sure when you drive at 200 km in the middle of these kind of things, it's sometimes a bit lazy.
As you may have gathered, these concrete blocks don't move, as Peter Solberg found out on the first ever running of the event back in 2002.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6. Right bus open. 16.
But that was small fry compared to his accident in 2004, number 3 in our top 10 spectacular crashes.
Things happen very quickly, and the crash in Germany that year, it's had understeer crash, hit the concrete, rolled many times over on the right side, and then were thrown over to the left side of the road, and I turned around and the roof was completely smashed down. I saw Phil, and I had a bad thought straight away.
Probably the single biggest impact that any driver has survived. I mean, Phil was very lucky, double impact on his side. Very lucky to get away.
Then I ran up to the start line. I saw Duval come. I tried to stop him, but he was doing his own thing in his head, you know. Up to the start line, and then the doctor was there. I said, get the helicopter, stop the race, get the ambulance straight down. And he said, okay, calm down. Sorry? And I, you know, because they didn't want to react to it, what I said, you know, calm down, you know, let you, calm, you know, sorry. I'm calm, I said, you know. And I took the doctor like this, up and down the car. You just stop the race straight away, you get that ambulance now. I was bleeding from my tongue, you know. And then I did it, you know.
This accident really shows just how strong these cars are. Just imagine hitting a totally immobile concrete block at 120 kilometers an hour. Petter and Phil were very lucky.
That would be something I certainly wouldn't want to go through again. It was a very violent accident, and rolling over some concrete blocks, the Hinkelsteins in Germany, and each time we impacted on the roof we hit a Hinkelstein. And I think that has got to be one of the most horrible moments of my life, actually.
This crash was also incredible because the car was completely destroyed and they had nothing. They were not injured because they hit concrete, which was incredible. The speed was not very high, but if the speed could have been a little bit higher, I think it can be a disaster for them also.
When I went to the hospital after, when he was laying there, I was so happy because I got some some tablets, you know. Ooh, you know. So he was very happy. Are you ready? Yeah, no problem. You know.
Despite suffering a 27G impact on a solid concrete Hinkelstein, Petter and Phil amazingly went on to win the next 3 events and was a close runner-up in the championship.
Have the Germany NBA back on the top again.
Absolutely.
This is it then, we're down to the top 2 crashes as voted by rally fans. And in the runner-up spot, like Petter's in Germany, it's a crash that stunned drivers and teams alike for its violence and destruction. The driver is Marco Martin, a man famous for his flat-out mentality that regularly produced memorable moments.
Some drivers they like to jump a long way, they take jumps flat. Other drivers, they don't jump very much at all. For instance, Marcus Grunholm, you'd think because Marcus was flamboyant and everything, but he didn't like to have the car in the air.